Chapter 13 to 18. Waking up, I leave my room. Walking down the tunnel, I reach the entrance of the cave to find both mother and father standing at the entrance of the cave. Sage, what are you guys doing? Onan, seeing as you're going to the danger zone, we're here to wish you good luck on your adventure, son. Zuxi, yep, be careful, I don't need you dying so young. Hearing their reply, I smile. Sage, don't you know how strong I am? I will not be killed so easily. So there is no reason to worry, I will just explore and be back soon. Saying that, I started flying in the direction of the danger zone. Underscore 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 underscore. Seeing my son fly away, I turned to my husband and asked him, Zuxi, are we going to inform him about the planet's instability or not? Onan, no. Sage is far more emotional than any Saiyan I have seen. And what difference will it make if he knows? He won't be able to do anything to stop it. Hearing Onan's response, I have to agree with him. But I don't want to die, I still want to fight. I want to see my son climb his way to the strongest in the universe and show everyone the true power of a Saiyan. Underscore 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 underscore. After about 15 minutes of flying, I came across some ruins that I must have missed before. Intrigued, I went to go and inspect the ruins, making sure to scan the area with my key. After finding nothing, I started walking towards the ruins. Heading inside, I look around and find that the ruins look like it was destroyed by a fight, not by natural causes. Coming to what I think was the library section, I start looking around trying to find maybe a history book, but most of the books are either destroyed or unrecognizable. 10 minutes of searching later, I finally come across a book or a diary that is readable. Underscore 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 underscore. Diary year 355, month 9. It has been several years since the space war started against the Ice Legion. That's what the enemies call themselves. Their numbers are higher than ours, but their technology cannot compare to our magic, so we have managed to hold on. I just wonder how long this war will continue for. Diary year 357, month 4. They have stopped attacking us for a few months. Seeing their unusual movements, we decided to attack and try to capture an enemy to tell us what they have planned. Diary year 357, month 5. The attack was successful and we captured a middle-ranking officer of the Legion. After torturing it for a few weeks, we finally found out that King Ice has decided to come personally with his entourage. After getting this information, we decided to go on the complete defensive and try to survive. Diary year 357, month 7. King Ice and his people have finally arrived. Today will be the deciding battle. Will we win? I hope. Diary year 357, month 7. We stood no chance against that monster. Every defense we prepared was like paper before him, killing all of us while smiling. We couldn't even slow him down. Queen Naga concluded that we will lose, but she wanted to take that man with us as well. The queen gathered all the remaining people left and used a forbidden sealing magic. After casting it on the man, we successfully sealed him away, but at the cost of everyone's life. I was the last alive, but I planned to die protecting my home planet. Underscore 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 underscore. After reading the diary, I was surprised about the history of this place and wondered whether that king ice was still sealed here somewhere. Putting the diary away, I continued looking around the ruins, and 5 minutes later I came across the throne room. Walking in, I was surprised that the throne room was in okay condition. Looking around, I saw paintings of women and men sitting on the throne wearing crowns, holding swords or wands. But the most striking thing about the picture was that while their upper body was mostly human, their lower body was that of a snake. Coming up to the throne, I grabbed the staff that was sitting on the chair, and the moment I grab it, I noticed I'm in an open plain. Looking around, I see the backside of a woman. When she turns around, I recognize her as the woman on the painting that hangs behind the throne. Seeing her look at me, I walk over to her, though the moment my instincts start feeling danger, I'm gonna kill her. Now standing in front of her, I notice she is quite beautiful, especially her reptilian eyes that are mesmerizing. She has long pink hair that goes down to her back, pointy ears, and the scales on her bottom half are also pink. Sage, so woman, you mind telling me why I am suddenly here? Asking her that, I just fold my arms, trying to look menacingly. Though that didn't seem to work, as she just smiled at me. Queen Naga, to think that such a powerful child would be the one to find my staff. Sage, tch. So you still can sense my power even when I suppress it? Hearing my reply, she just smiles and giggles. Queen Naga, he. Even though you say that, you don't look that surprised. Sage, well, before I found the staff, I came across a diary telling about how your species can use magic. But you still lost to that ice fool. Hearing the name King Ice, her demeanor changes a little and her facial expression starts showing anger, hate, and sadness. Queen Naga, so you found out about our misfortune. So then, do you want to know anything then? Smiling, how I am finally getting somewhere in this conversation, I ask her about King Ice. Sage, how strong was that King Ice compared to me? Queen Naga must have been stunned that I asked about the strength of King Ice, because she just looked at me for a while before answering. Queen Naga, he is far more powerful than you are. Why do you want to know? Hearing that he is more powerful than me, I smile, and then I walk away from her. She must have been confused, because she panicked a little. Queen Naga, wait child, where are you going? Sage, just stay right there for a second. After saying that, I turn around, and after making sure the distance is big enough, I start powering up. When I am fully powered up, I then use Akari. Queen Naga was wide-eyed, surprised when I looked at her. Smiling, I asked her the same question again. Sage, now how would I compare to King Ice? Queen Naga, hearing my question for a second time, is flustered before she answers. Queen Naga, has such power, but still not comparable to King Ice. When I hear her answer, I power back down and start laughing. Sage, finally someone stronger than me, ha ha ha. I must fight this King Ice. Walking back in front of the queen, I ask her more about King Ice. Sage, where is King Ice at? I read in the diary that you sealed him somewhere, so where's he at? Queen Naga, why would I tell you? It took a lot of sacrifices to seal him away, and I don't know whether you are good or evil. Hearing her response, I get annoyed by the concept of good and evil. We Saiyans don't believe in that bullshit, we believe in strength. Strength is a universal language that every species knows, and we Saiyans are prime believers in that. Sage, I don't care about whether you think I am good or evil, I just want to fight this King Ice and kill him. Queen Naga, I refuse to tell you about his location, you are not strong enough to beat him. Hearing her refusal for a second time, I get angry and start powering up again. Since asking nicely didn't work, how about using force? Sage, since you won't tell me how to find King Ice after I asked nicely, how about I just force you to tell me then? Holding my hand right in front of her, I prepare to launch a ki blast straight toward her. Queen Naga, seeing this, just smiles and laughs. Queen Naga, ha ha ha. You can't force me. Confused and annoyed at her response, I just ask her what she is talking about. Sage - why can't I? Queen Naga - because I am already dead. This right here is just my soul that is sealed into my staff to always watch over the seal that imprisons King Ice. Hearing her response, I just look at her for a second and then power back down, feeling extremely annoyed at her. Looking at her, she seems surprised that I actually believed her that easily. Queen Naga - to think you actually believed me. Sage - "Mph. Did you think I was a fool?" Seeing her look at me like she thought I was stupid, I get angry and questioned her. Sage - so tell me what I have to do to fight King Ice. Queen - didn't I just tell - Sage - don't try to fool me, this place is meant to house your soul, and if you didn't want to interact with me, you would have just sent me out of here. Seeing as I am still here, it doesn't take a genius to realize there is still room for negotiation. Queen Naga just looks at me like she was caught red-handed, stealing from the cookie jar. Queen - hee. It seems you are a smart child, seeing as you caught on, I will let you fight King Ice on one condition. Curious about what the condition is. Sage - so what is it? Queen Naga - I want you to take care of my daughter. Hearing her condition, I immediately replied to her. Sage - no. After saying no, I just turn around and leave. Queen Naga was surprised by the quick response, because she ran or slithered after me. Anyways, after catching up to me, she tried to force me to accept her request. Queen Naga - wait. If you don't take care of my daughter, then I will never allow you to fight King Ice. Turning around, I just stare blankly at her before continuing on my way. Responding to her question without even looking at her. Sage - I didn't come here to be a babysitter. I came here to battle and get stronger, not take care of some random little girl, now just leave me alone. Saying my piece, I continue walking when I hear Queen Naga say something interesting. Queen Naga - if you're looking to get stronger, then my daughter can help you. Turning around, I look at her a little skeptical about her claim. Sage - oh. How can she help me then? Also, it better be something useful or I am done talking with you. Seeing how I am willing to listen, she calms down and tells me about her daughter in detail. Queen Naga - my daughter Nala had the greatest talent for a rune magister to have ever existed among our race. She could do almost anything as long as she had materials to engrave her runes on. Sage - I don't see how any of this will be of use to me yet. Queen Naga - our race's combat professions were mainly magic related. That's because strengthening our bodies was more difficult compared to improving our magic. Nala, seeing the difficulty of body strengthening, decided to improve it. So she inscribed hundreds of runes on a gladiator arena, and they increase the speed of strengthening the body. Sage, this Nala might actually be helpful. If she can make runes that increase gravity, I could become stronger. Thinking about the pros and cons, I ask her about Nala. Sage - so where is your daughter then? She better be close by. Queen Naga, after hearing my response, becomes happy for a little bit before she waves her hand and a portal appears beside her. Reaching inside, she brings out a long golden casket. Queen Naga - before I give my daughter to you, I must make sure you will take care of her. Sage - I already said no. The most I will do is bring her off this planet and drop her off in a safe area. And that's final. She starts staring intensely at me before she sighs and just accepts it. Queen Naga - HAA. Fine, please take her off the planet when you leave. After she says that, she waves her hand over the golden casket, and it starts shining very brightly before it breaks, making a sound like when glass shatters. Seconds later, the top of the casket moves, and I see a delicate and frail-looking hand come out of the casket before I see what looks like an exact replica of Queen Naga, except just younger and not as mature. After she has gotten out of the casket, she looks around, and when she finds her mother, she hurriedly asks, Nala - mother, did we win the war? But before Queen Naga could answer, I replied in her stead. Sage - no. You guys lost the war. Underscore 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 underscore. Asking my mother about the war, I hear an unfamiliar voice answer instead. Turning around, getting a good look at the owner of the voice, I notice he is an outsider. How could I tell? Well, for starters, his appearance is far different from us Nagas. His body is covered in fur except for some of his chest, he has a long tail swinging behind him, his hair is big and quite long for a male, he has many scars all over his body, but what stood out to me the most was his blood-red eyes. When I looked at those eyes, I saw a faint image of a giant black ape roaring loudly on a battlefield surrounded by dead bodies of many different species. Terrified, I looked away and hid behind my mother. Nala-WW, what kind of monster are you? Underscore 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 underscore. When I heard Nala calling me a monster, I just smiled and laughed, and decided to humor her about my origins. Sage dash hahaha. Me? I am a Saiyan, a race feared for our savage and cruel nature. So calling me a monster is spot on. Seeing her get even more frightened, I continue laughing. But Queen Naga had to ruin the fun for me. Queen Naga dash, don't be so mean when you just met each other. Nala dash but dash. Queen Naga dash, no, but Nala, you're a princess. Or at least used to be one, so act like you have some proper etiquette. When Nala heard about being a princess, she got sad. I think she was remembering my words about losing the war. The queen, seeing how her daughter got all quiet, bent down and started talking with her. Queen Naga dash, listen, dear, I know you're sad because we lost. But you're going to have to move past it and start fresh somewhere else, okay? This person will take care of you until he finds somewhere safe for you to settle down. Nala dash W, what do you mean? Aren't you coming with me, Mom? Aren't you going to take care of me? Nala, listening to her mother speak, started getting emotional, and she was seconds away from crying. Me, seeing what's going to happen, decides to move, taking a few steps back to stay quiet. Underscore 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 underscore. Looking at my daughter about to cry, I feel pain in my soul. But I know I don't have much time left, and staying longer would injure my soul. Seeing her like this, I steel my resolve and tell her the truth. Queen Naga dash, dear, I am already dead, and I have been dead for a long time. I don't have much time left either. I used up the rest of my power taking you out of that dimension. I am going to vanish in a few seconds. Watching my daughter get more and more distressed as I tell her the truth hurts me, but it's better than leaving without telling her everything. Queen Naga dash, be a strong Naga, and make sure to live an enjoyable life, okay? Know that I will always be with you. After finishing telling her, I see my soul is slowly fading. Looking at my daughter, I can tell she wants to cry, but she is trying to stay strong. Looking over at the child, I begged him to take care of my daughter one last time. Queen Naga dash, please take care of my daughter. Sage dash, since I said I was going to do it, I will do it. Do I look like someone who goes back on my words? Hearing his confirmation, I just looked at my daughter one last time. Queen Naga dash, I have and will always love you, Nala. Underscore 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 underscore. Watching the Queen of Nagas vanish, I noticed the space start warping, and in a blink of an eye, we were back in the throne room with me still holding the staff. Looking down, I notice the staff turn into dust and float away. Ahead of me, I see Nala just standing there with her head down. Noticing this, I walked over to her. Sage, just let it out, stop trying to hold the pain in. As if my words were a key to opening a dam, she just hugs my body while crying loudly all over me, wetting my fur with her tears. Nala wahhh. Sage do you plan to get off me or not? You have been hugging me for a long time already. Nala, hearing my words, unwraps her tail from around my body and backs away. Seeing how she has calmed down a little bit, I get straight to the point. Sage so do you want revenge against what King Ice did to you people? Nala, hearing my sudden question, looks down. Since I can't see her expression, I don't know what her answer will be, but I am sure she wants to avenge her people. 1 minute later, she looks at me with determination shining in her eyes. Nala of course I do, but I am not a fighter. All I can do is engrave runes on objects. How will that be helpful in a fight? After she says that, she slumps back down crestfallen. Walking closer to her, I stand right in front of her. Sage you don't have to fight King Ice, that's my job. All you have to do is help me get stronger so I can defeat him, can you do that? Nala was surprised by my desire to fight King Ice, confused about why, she questioned me about it. Nala b but why fight him? He hasn't done anything to you, has he? Sage nope, I haven't even seen him. Nala then why fight him and risk dying? Hearing that response, I just laugh loudly. Maybe to other people fighting someone who could possibly kill you for no reason may sound stupid. But to us Saiyans, to me, it is the only reason we need. Sage because it's in my blood to seek battles, to seek greater challenges, to seek the peak of power and defeat it. That's what a Saiyan is. Staring at Nala, I see she is impressed by my declaration. Seeing this, I ask her again. Sage Nala, help me defeat King Ice, or we die trying. Seeing as Nala has finally found her determination to avenge her people, she gets excited and jumps on me while accepting. Nala yeah. Underscore 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 underscore. Standing outside my family's cave home are me, Nala, and both of my parents. I have just got done telling them about my findings in the ruins and who the girl that's hiding behind me is. Onan to think there was such a powerful being sealed away on this planet. Zuxi yeah, too bad I'm not strong enough, otherwise I would go find this King Ice and go have some fun with him. My father looks behind me at Nala, who is still trying to hide from my parents, by the way. Onan do tell me son, how is she supposed to help you defeat King Ice? Sighing to myself at forgetting to even ask her that. Turning around, I ask her about gravity. Sage yes. Your mother told me you're a great rune magister, and that you built training halls for warriors before. So is it possible for you to engrave runes to increase the gravity in a small area for training? When Nala hears me mention runes, she gets all excited and starts blabbering about runes, or something else I don't know about. Nala runes are a very amazing thing. They can build anything you want, as long as you provide enough imagination and magic into the words. Everyone says that you need materials to engrave runes, but I believe that if you have enough magic power you can write them on nothing but your magic alone. And Sage stop. Talking for a second, will you? I have no idea what you are saying. Nala finally stops after looking at us with pure confusion on our faces. Nala, seeing this, blushes and apologizes. Continuing where I left off, before she started bombarding me with rune knowledge. Sage can you increase the gravity in a specific area or not? Nala yeah, I can, but that depends on how much of an increase we are talking about. Hearing that she can indeed increase the gravity, I smile, thinking how effective my training will be with it. Sage the highest increase you can create. After saying that, I started walking inside the cave, wanting to rest as today has been a long day. While walking, I hear a flustered Nala. Nala wait, where are you going? Sage dash to rest, I am tired from all this talking. Saying that I lay down on my makeshift bed, completely ignoring her. Underscore 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 underscore. Waking up, I perform my morning meditation session. 1 hour later, I stand up and proceed to walk out of the cave. Standing outside the cave, I look around and spot Nala coiled up and sleeping on a tree. Walking toward her, I get right in front of her and her tail and start flying towards the direction where those ruins were at. Halfway through my flight, Nala wakes up and begins to scream from being pulled by her tail through the sky. Nala dash aha. Let me down, Sage. Aha. Finding it funny that she is so scared, I start flying faster, causing her to faint. When she woke back up, we were already by the ruins. Nala, seeing how we were at the ruins again, looked at me confused. Sage dash this area has the highest gravity on the planet, so I figured this place would be the best place for you to increase the gravity. So how long will it take for you to complete it? Nala, hearing my response, looks at me and then looks around the area before she gives me her answer. Nala dash it will take me a month to complete it. Sage dash what? 1 month, why so long? Nala dash humph. Do you think being a rune magister is easy and quick? No, it's the most time-consuming profession, that's why almost nobody ever tried to become a rune magister. Sage, I guess that makes sense. It would be weird if it was easy from how Nala explained how great runes were. Seeing how it's going to take really long, I decided to ask her to only engrave 5x the gravity instead. Sage dash okay, never mind. How long for an increase of 5x instead? Nala dash 1 week. Or is that too long for you as well? Sage dash no, that is good. After giving the go-ahead, she just looks at me and clicks her tongue. Slithering forward, she starts writing in midair and slowly words start forming in a bright pink color. 1 minute later, the words start to sink into the ground and disappear. Seeing her do all that, I get reminded of a question I wanted to ask. Sage dash how are you fine in such high gravity, Nala? Nala answers me without even stopping her hand movements. Nala, my belt. I engraved a rune on my belt to constantly keep the gravity. I feel the same as what the planet's gravity used to be. Hearing her words, I realize that runes seem far more useful than I could actually ever imagine. It's been about a week since Nala has started inscribing runes. Of course, she has taken some breaks to sleep or refill her magic. But she is almost done, probably just another hour or so. Nala dash I have completed inscribing runes around the area you have designated. You don't need to charge it as it takes in magic from the surrounding atmosphere, so it is constantly activated. Now if you will excuse me, I am mentally exhausted. After Nala finished speaking, she went to a tree in the distance, coiled herself beneath, and rested. Looking at the area, I can say it is about 1/10 of a square kilometer. Walking towards the area, I see a faint pink glowing line, which I assume is where the runes were engraved at. Taking a step inside, I almost trip from the sudden increase in gravity. Fully inside now, I can tell it is difficult to move. Even now I am having some difficulty just walking, let alone training. Sage, this will be sufficient for now. Now it is time to train. Thinking about what type of training I will do, I just decided to do my basic workout. They consist of 1,000 push-ups, squats, sit-ups, and some running. And while that type of training is nothing to me now, doing it in this gravity will indeed produce some results. Underscore 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 underscore. Sage. This gravity is no longer that effective to me anymore. It seems it's finally time to find this king ice. And to think I only needed 1 year for this gravity to feel normal to me. Yeah, that's right, you heard me. It's been 1 year since I have found Nala and started my training. And I must say, while Nala isn't someone I would actively interact with, I must admit it is nice to have someone who is near my age to talk with. Now I am not saying she is perfect or anything, at times she is still annoying. But I guess what I am trying to say is she isn't bad to be around with, especially her talent in runes, which I have come to find to be really powerful. Leaving the training area, I hear Nala call me for lunch. Nala-Sage, it's time for lunch. I cooked the boar you caught. Sage-Yeah, just give me a minute. Responding, I walk over to a small pink glowing circle. Standing in it for a few seconds, all the sweat and dirt on my body slowly evaporates. Yes, it's a shower. Nala would get angry every time I came to eat after training. Talking about how I smell bad and stink, after telling her I didn't want to waste time cleaning when I could be training, she made this rune which has the attributes of cleanse. Or at least that's what she said to me. Sitting down next to the stone stove that Nala made, I grab some food and start eating it with gusto. Sage-it only took several months for something you cooked to be edible. Nala, hearing my words, stares at me and pouts. Seeing how I do not react to her pouting, she just moves past that failed interaction. Nala-so how has your training been going? It has been about a year since you started. You must have made some improvements since then. Sage-yeah, I have indeed grown stronger. I believe it's about time to finally fight that King Ice. Nala, hearing my statement, turns serious and stops eating. She looks at me and asks concernedly. Nala-are you sure you're ready? Sage-yeah. I plan to fight him tomorrow, after you unseal him. She was surprised when I mentioned her unsealing King Ice. Nala-, when did you find out that I could unseal him? Sage-it doesn't take a genius to figure this out. Did you expect me to unseal him? After saying that I stand up, and Nala, seeing me stand up, does the same. She slithers over to my body and wraps her lower body around my torso. Seeing this, I just sigh and fly back to the cave home with a naga as a backpack. Arriving at the cave, I first get Nala off of me. Walking inside, I find that neither of my parents are home. Seeing this, I just go back to my room with Nala following right behind. About to go to sleep, I turn around and sigh, looking at someone who should not be there. Sage-sigh. Why have you followed me into my room? Seeing how she is fidgeting around and staring at me with a pleading look, I just decide to ignore her and try to rest before the big fight tomorrow. Sage-never mind, just let me rest. After saying that, I feel Nala lay right behind me, as she puts her lower body on top of me like a blanket. Sage-sigh, I just wanted a peaceful sleep. Underscore 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 underscore. Waking up, I find Nala's face right in front of mine, along with her body wrapped around me completely. Sighing at how ridiculous she is when she sleeps, I wake her up. Sage-Nala, wake up. After practically yelling at her, she freaks out and hurriedly backs away from me. After regaining her composure, she looks at me angrily before ignoring me and slithering away. I just shake my head at her antics and follow behind her. Coming into the front of the cave, I find mother and father fighting each other, so I just sit and watch them spar. About 5 minutes later, I see father laying on the ground with mother standing over him, out of breath, but smiling. Zuxi-ha. Even after 10 years you still aren't my equal. After mother says that, she just lays down right next to him. Onan-ha. Don't worry dear, I will beat you one day, so just wait. Zuxi- I can't wait for that day to come then. Walking up to my parents, I tell them about me fighting King Ice. Sage-guys, I will be fighting King Ice today. So stay far away from the battle, okay? My parents, hearing my words, just looks at me before father nods in understanding, while mother seems dejected about not witnessing the fight. Zuxi-tsk. I wish I could witness such a battle. Hearing mother, I just shake my head and tell her the truth. Sage dash mother, if you got too close to us while we are fighting you could be killed by the shockwave alone. Even being this far away from the battle you will still be able to feel the shockwave. Mother, hearing my words, just looks at me and then sighs. Seeing that father and mother will be away from the fight, I turn to Nala, and before I even say anything, Nala dash don't worry, I have already prepared for this situation, so you can fight freely. So you better beat him. Hearing her I just nod before walking over. She wraps around me again and I set off flying towards the direction where Nala said he is sealed. Underscore 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 underscore. Reaching the area where he is supposedly sealed in, looking around, the only thing that stands out is the giant mountain. Not knowing where to continue I ask Nala. Sage dash, so where is he sealed at? Nala dash, that giant mountain. Flying towards it, I land right in front of it, turning to Nala, who is slithering to the front of the mountain. Standing in front of it she takes off her necklace and inserts it into the mountain. After she did that she backed away and before leaving she looked at me. Nala dash, be careful. Sage dash, do you think I will lose? Nala, hearing my response, just smiles before she starts making some runes, and then she disappears. Seeing how I can't even sense her ki anymore, I know she will be safe. After she disappeared, the mountain started shining before slowly dissipating. With the mountain fully gone, out of nowhere I feel a massive amount of evil ki. It's even stronger than my full power, but not by much. I smile knowing this is going to be a hell of a battle. Sage dash, ha 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 ha. This is what I have been training for. Smiling, I get into a fighting position and wait for King Ice to appear. Several seconds later, I finally see the owner of such powerful ki. He is about my height, has a long tail, and has 3 toes on each foot. Sage, I had my suspicions that he was a frost demon, but to think he actually was one. It seems like Saiyans and frost demons will always be at odds with each other. Now that Ice is out of his seal, he looks around him before finally landing his eyes on me. Ice dash, tell me, what year is it? Surprised that he isn't going on a rampage immediately after being released from his seal, I respond while asking back. Sage dash, the year is 742. And you don't seem that angry about being sealed either. Ice dash, I was sealed for 385 years. And to answer your question, after being alone for such a long time you start reflecting about a lot of things. But that does not mean I am not angry. Hearing his answer, I was about to ask him to battle, but before I could, he asked first. Ice dash, so do you plan to fight me with your meager strength? It doesn't matter, I have been locked away for so long unable to move, I shall use you as a warm-up. After I said that, he flew towards me super fast and aimed a kick right at my face, which I barely blocked in time. But the force behind the kick pushed me several meters back. Looking at him, I ask him a question while blocking another kick aimed to my left. Sage dash, so you can sense my power, that's surprising knowing your race's personality. Ice, appearing right behind, kicks me into the air, and while answering me. Ice dash, having nothing to do for almost 400 years makes you do anything to keep your mind occupied. Now no more talking. I am enjoying this. Watching him fly after me into the air, I fire ki blasts at him which he dodges and then enters close combat with me again. While blocking, dodging, and trying to counterattack his attacks. Sage, while his power far outclasses mine, his fighting is sloppy, amateur at best. Blocking another attack, I use its impact to send me away from him, while I fire a new ki move I made for a group of enemies, but still works with a single enemy. Sage dash, galaxy spiral. Several small light red ki waves fire out of my hand and they all move in different directions before eventually converging on Ice. Seeing my attack land on Ice, I got back into a fighting position, knowing that my attack did little to nothing in terms of damaging him. A few seconds later, I see Ice completely fine looking at me. Ice dash, ho ho dot ho. What an interesting move, now let me show mine. Saying that, Ice raises his finger and launches a blue ray straight at me with incredible speed. Ice dash, freeze ray. Knowing I won't be able to dodge the attack, I put my guard up and tank it. When it explodes on contact with me, I feel pain and my arm feels a little numb. Looking at my arm, I noticed there is frost coming off my forearm. Looking at Ice, I see him smile, while still laughing. Ice-opsy me, I forgot to mention that my ki has cold properties. Hearing that, I realize this is going to be a far tougher battle than before. Smiling, I get even more excited. Flying straight towards Ice, we start another round of battle more intense than before, this time with me paying close attention to any ki attacks he unleashes. Every time we attack each other, we end up far away from where we were before. Blocking a tail swipe from him, I grab his tail and spin in a circle before launching him towards the ground, waiting for him to come back. Then suddenly I feel pain from my stomach. Looking down, I see Ice's fist embedded in my stomach. Flying away from the force, I stop about 100 meters away while holding my stomach. Sage, he's using more power than before. Barely blocking a punch from Ice, who appeared out of nowhere. Constantly blocking his punches and dodging most of his kicks. Every now and then a few punches will land on me, hurting, but not enough to distract me from the fight. While the fight between these two beings were happening, two other people were experiencing something different. Underscore 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 underscore. Onan POV. Onan dash, to think I can even feel some of the vibrations from here. How powerful is Sage really? Turning to look at my wife, who is currently eating and not caring about the battle that is happening, I ask her. Onan dash, do you think Sage will lose? Zuxi dash humph. No, I have personally trained our son, how could he ever lose? Anyways, have you found a habitable planet yet that the space pod can reach? Onan dash, yeah, I have finally got my space pod's navigation system working again, and the closest planet is about 3 months away. After I answer her question, I sit down next to her and wait for my son's victory. Underscore 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 underscore. Sage POV. I have been fighting Ice for a while now, and I have taken several hits and gotten some light injuries, but Ice is practically fine. One thing that has happened is that I have learned his moves during this fight. Sage, he will kick my right and then go for a punch to the face, and that's when I strike. Ice appears right in front of me, kicking at my right, dodging the kick. He then goes for a punch to my face. Seeing this, I move my head to the side. With his arm still parallel to my head, I wrapped my arm around his arm and brought him closer before repeatedly punching him in the face. After punching him several times, he gets angry and releases his full power, flinging me away in the process. Looking at him at full power, he looks angry along with some blood dripping from his nose. Ice dash, I have had enough. You have entertained me long enough, now it's time to die. Hearing him say that, I start laughing before powering up as well. At full power, seeing that he still has the same bored expression on his face. Smiling, I use a Kari, which multiplies my power by 25x. After using it, my height and muscle mass increased, along with my hair spiking towards the sky. Looking at him, I see that he looks serious now. With both of us at full power, our ki constantly collides against each other and causes sparks to fly. It also makes the entire area around us shake from the release of our ki. Sage dash, ha 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 ha. I won't die that easily, now it's time for round 2. Sage dash, come on, it's time for the real fight. Saying that, I charge straight towards Ice, going on the offensive. Punching at his face, he catches my fist. Moving closer, I give him a headbutt to the face, causing him to stumble backwards. Seeing him disoriented, I flash right in front of him, giving him a knee to the chin, making him almost do a backflip. Grabbing his tail, that is now in front of me, I spin him around before letting go and firing ki blasts at him. Waiting, I see Ice come out of the dust cloud, slightly injured, while looking at me coldly. Smiling, I fly towards him. Ice, seeing me get closer, starts flying towards me as well. With both of us attacking each other, I get hit by a freeze ray on my right side. Glancing towards the right, I find Ice's tail there. Sage, so he can fire key attacks from his tail as well. Ice, seeing how he landed a hit on me, started attacking more at my right side, forcing me to defend more than I would like to. I lowered my guard for a split second. Ice, seeing this, gives a vicious roundhouse kick towards my right. Sage, got you. Catching his leg, I squeeze his leg between my side and arm. Seeing him stuck, I open my mouth and launch a fire breath at him from point-blank range, pushing him to the ground while almost completely engulfing him. Closing my mouth, I wait for him to come out, when suddenly his aura starts turning extremely cold. Seeing him come out of the crater, I can tell he took quite the damage from my attack, especially with the burn marks all over him. Curious, I ask him about the unnatural cold coming off his ki. Sage, so why did you suddenly get so cold? Looking at me hatefully, I thought he wasn't going to answer me when he answered back. Ice, it's a technique I thought of while I was sealed. Now my entire body has the same attribute as my ki, freezing to the touch. Hearing his reply, I get cautious of him now. He flashes to my right, punching me. Putting my arm up, I block it and counterattack with my own. I noticed that the arm where he punched me was cold, but that was it, but my instincts were warning me not to underestimate it. After starting our fight again, something that started bothering me was how I seemed to stop dodging my attacks and only blocked them. Another thing was how he stopped going for powerful attacks and only did quick light ones instead that did almost no damage to me. Knowing that something was up, I kept my guard up for anything unusual happening. Sage, what is your plan, Ice? I have been fighting him for a few minutes, and because Ice was only blocked, I have managed to do some damage to him. Seeing Ice aim a punch at my face, I move my arm to block it when suddenly I notice my arm's movement slightly slower than before, which caused me to get hit. Flung away, I stopped myself in midair, wondering why my arm slowed down when I heard Ice say something. Ice, so it has finally started working. Hearing his words make me put the pieces of the puzzle together, letting me understand what happened to me. Sage, his cold ki, no longer dodging my attacks and only using quick attacks. He was using his ki slowly to make my body cold enough to where I'm paralyzed, and to achieve that all he needed was his body to be in contact with mine. After understanding his plan, I must admit it is a great plan, but this just makes things even more interesting. Sage, a drawn-out battle is no longer a feasible option, so if I want to win, I must damage him quicker than he can paralyze my body. So will I beat him quicker, or will I become the first Saiyan popsicle? This is making my blood boil in excitement. Smiling, I stand back up and charge straight at him, no longer worrying about defense. I am only focused on the offensive, and while his attacks are strong. What would make me lose this fight is his cold paralyzing my body first, not from physical damage. Attacking him fiercely, I notice he is still doing the same as before, light attacks and only blocking. Seeing him like that, I decide to charge him, now that I'm right in front of him. I give him a hug, wrapping my arms and legs around his limbs. With my hands on his back, I charge up a massive galactic burst, engulfing both of us in the explosion. A few seconds later, I came out of the mini mushroom cloud with frost covering my chest, arms, and legs, along with some patches of fur burned off. Feeling my body, I can tell that I am at least 6 to 8% slower than usual. Sage, maybe hugging him wasn't the best idea. Looking at our surroundings, I notice that there are hundreds of craters from our battle. Sensing Ice approaching, I see he is injured from my attack, with his back being almost entirely scorched. Smiling, we charge back at each other, with both of us foregoing defense and fighting purely offensively. Underscore 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 underscore. Both me and Ice have been fighting for several minutes, and we are at the end of the battle. I am currently seriously injured and covered in frost, feeling really cold. Also, my speed has decreased to about 70% of my top speed, while Ice's whole body is practically burned, along with him constantly bleeding. Getting into position for a final attack, I warn him. Sage, I think it's about time we end this. Saying that, I put both my hands in front of my chest, palms facing each other, but not touching, and slowly a light red key ball starts forming. Ice on the other hand, agrees with me before putting one arm above his head and starts charging a giant blue key ball. About half a minute later, me and Ice simultaneously open our eyes before firing our attacks. Sage-Plasma Stream. Ice-Absolute Blast. Our attacks hit each other almost instantly, both of our attacks constantly advancing and retreating. Sage, if this was at the beginning of our battle, I would have lost from his superior power, but now with him being more injured than me along with my insane key regeneration speed, I won. Thinking that, I start pouring in all my excess ki that has been refilled during the battle. My ki wave becomes bigger and starts pushing back against his attack. Ice, seeing his attack getting pushed back, starts panicking. Now with Ice's ki sphere right in front of his face, I give one final push, completely enveloping his attack along with him as well. Sage-AHHHHHHHDIEEE. Powering down from my lack of ki, I watch my ki wave dissipate before almost leaving the atmosphere. I see Ice falling from the sky before crashing on the ground. Flying over to him, but making sure to keep a distance in case he wants to do some suicidal attack. Ice-********* to think right after being released from my seal that I would be met with death. Feeling someone's ki from behind me, I look to find Nala slithering right next to me, watching her look at the almost dead Ice. I turn to her and ask her how she feels. Sage-, so how do you feel seeing your species exterminator about to die? Nala-, a little happy, but that's it, killing him won't bring my people back to life, nor my mother. After she says that, turns to me before bowing and thanking me. Nala-, thank you for avenging my people, Sage. Sage-, Nala just smiles at my reaction before slithering away. Ice, who is seeing all this, suddenly smiles cruelly before announcing. Ice-******, if I am going down, I am taking you with me. Ha ha ha. After he says that he uses all of his remaining life force to form a ki ball, thinking he is going to attack me with it, I sprint towards Nala. Sage, if he attacks me with that, Nala will be caught up in the explosion as well. Catching up with Nala, who looks terrified from Ice's last-ditch attack. Getting right in front of her, trying my best to protect her from the attack. When I look back at Ice, I see him smiling before he slams the ki ball straight towards the ground. Seeing this, I finally realized what his plan was. Sage, he wants to take the whole planet down with him. If you want to support me, check out my Patreon at https://www.patreon.com/Kayashin. I tend to polls that decide important plot stuff in my P at Trian. Many thanks to my awesome patrons. Wilnet Duverne. Yame Tancho. Harold's Martinsons. If you liked the content, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I'll stay here until next time.